What's going on, everybody? Welcome to AniBreak, the show where we talk about the week's topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and this week we have information regarding a number of topics. One, we finally have a trailer for, like an actual trailer, for the live-action adaptation of Kiki's Delivery Service. That's kind of all I'm going to say about that for right now. We got some really cool news from Toonami, some we've already known for a while, and some is actually pretty cool news, brand new. We have some information regarding Attack on Titan about how it could possibly be different, and a really cool symphonic event that is going to happen in Paris that I kind of wish would make its way stateside, but more on that in a little bit. We're going to start off with an update to a bit of news we were talking about over the past couple weeks regarding Soul Eater Not. This is a side story that started off as a manga that focused on other characters going to the same school as all the characters from the original Soul Eater series. There, you probably will see a couple cameos here and there, but for the most part, these characters kind of have their own deal. We didn't get much information about who's going to be producing it, who's going to direct it. Well, we finally actually have the information about who's going to produce the animation stuff, and that's actually going to be Studio Bones, and I'm really happy for that. They've done some fantastic work over the years, and to pick up, essentially where Soul Eater left off, I'm really looking forward to see where they're going to go with this. If you're looking for lack of a better phrase, the Halloween factor that you had in Soul Eater, you're probably not going to get much of that in this one, especially in the two different styles. In the original Soul Eater series, it focused on students in the EAT program, especially advanced talent. Well, these girls, not so much. They're in the Not class, which is normally overcome target track. So that they have some abilities, but really not much. So we're looking forward to see what's going to happen with Studio Bones taking the reins for this new iteration of a very, very fun series. Let's get on to the Toonami news. There's a few things they were talking about. One, the ratings. So Toonami, when it went off the air, I think in mid to late 90s, it had declining numbers. People weren't really watching and tuning in all that much. At the same time, to be honest, it was kind of oversaturating the market. I mean, there was Toonami every day of the week and sometimes twice a day. So it kind of got a little out of hand at times. Since its return, though, it's been doing fantastic, especially this month because of the movies. Starting off with Akira, and there's 3 more going on for this month. But apparently, right here, it looks like during the Akira broadcast, it actually outperformed last year's time period averages by a factor of double digits. That's kind of impressive. Usually you may see a difference between of like 1 to 7%, if that. We were talking like upwards of 32% in a rise in viewership. This basically gave Cartoon Network's Adult Swim programming its best ratings in over a decade. That's kind of badass. That the franchise or the block of programming, Toonami, which they thought was, it'll come back, it'll appease the otaku in the States, and we'll get some decent ratings, is now leading the pack on every other series that they showed during the Adult Swim block. Kind of awesome. Looks also, for the 9th year in a row, Adult Swim also ranked number 1 on basic cable in total day among adults, the coveted 18 to 34 range. So, okay, we're par for the course, but we kind of helped out with that here and there. The only thing besides that Adult Swim really has that's pulling in ratings is Robot Chicken, and that's on its 6th season or something like that. It's kind of crazy. Coinciding with the announcement for this, Toonami released their January 2014 schedule. Couple of things we've already known. One, Space Dandy. I'm really looking forward to this. It is apparently true that they're going to get the broadcast before it actually shows up in Japan. The best part about this, though, Toonami is being extended, and it's starting a little earlier. It's starting at 11:30 instead of midnight, and it's kicking off with Space Dandy, followed by Bleach, and then the premiere of Naruto Shippuden, which is the continuation. One Piece, Soul Eater, SAO, Fully Cooley, FMA, Ghost in the Shell, IGPX, Clone Wars. We're all back. And of course, it wraps up with Inuyasha. I'm sure you'll probably see some of the standards like Cowboy Bebop make its way here and there. Maybe some Eureka 7. But those just keep on phasing in and out. But yeah, Space Dandy started it up at 11:30. But you know what? If you want to see it before that, not too much earlier before that, but before that, you can actually head over to Otakon. Because Otakon announced that they will host the premiere, the launch event of Space Dandy Episode 1, before the episode airs on Toonami. So yes, it'll be a little earlier, but it's exactly the same day. So a nice little bonus for those of you who are planning on going to Otakon Vegas is that you won't have to worry about leaving all the fun times at the convention just so you can get back to your hotel room in time to watch this. Nope, you can actually watch it on one of the big screens they have there. That's going to be awesome. Not to mention, they're also going to have a few people who have worked or who are working on the Space Dandy English dub there, including Mr. Dandy himself, going to be voiced by Ian Sinclair, a very, very cool guy. You will get along with him, you will love him, but you have to be there to say hi to him. So, another reason to go to Otakon Vegas this year. As also a nice little tidbit, even though they released the dates and the times for the January time block, they made a little note about another not classic, very popular series here in the States that's going to make its way back to the Toonami lineup in February, and that is Samurai Jack. I really enjoyed this cartoon when it first came out. One of the few that I really followed, week to week when it first started airing. Yeah, I think it's a really cool bit that's going to come back. Maybe a bunch of new fans will enjoy Samurai Jack. But before we move on, I do have to say one thing. Some of the designs that have been released so far for Space Dandy have kind of bordered on, what the hell am I watching? Or what the hell am I looking at? They decided to release an image of a ship that's going to show up in Space Dandy. This is what it is. It's essentially a modified head of the Statue of Liberty with a ball gag in her mouth. Designed for space travel. What the hell is this? We will apparently find out. Yeah, we'll just had to throw that out there. It's just, yeah, kind of crazy. All right, let's move on to something that is probably just as crazy, but infinitely more epic. There is a new video out promoting not the theatrical release, but the Blu-ray and DVD release of Ghost in the Shell Arise Episode 2, which will be released basically on Christmas over in Japan. And Funimation, you made a promise. There's got to be a release, at least a limited edition release of Episode 2 imported over here. Haven't heard a single word of that anywhere. Kind of waiting for that. But to whet your appetite, here's the new trailer. Looks good, looks fantastic. Each trailer that I've seen has been increasingly more impressive than the last. And I'm sure that's planned. That's the way it's supposed to be. And in order to make you want to buy the Blu-ray and DVD. I'm going to do that anyway. This is going to just tease me until I can get my hands on my physical copy of the second episode. I already have my first episode. Now I need to continue on the collection. You may have noticed that's a slightly more based on the action aspect of this time around. Perfectly fine with that. You may have also noticed that there's a couple returning characters that didn't show up in the first episode. Namely, let's see, Ishikawa, Saito, Boma. We're going to get the entire crew from Section 9 back together. I'm looking forward to see what they do. I keep on forgetting, though, that as cool as Maya Sakamoto is, and she does a damn good job as the voice of Motoko, I keep on forgetting that the voice of Logicoma this time, for this franchise is Miyuki Sawashiro. Should have known that from the voice, but it didn't catch on to about an hour ago. Some news on the Attack on Titan franchise. The creator of the series mentioned in a recent interview that even though he had the ending planned out before the series even began, he will probably change it. He's considering it. He considered creating an ending where everyone died. And honestly, I'm kind of fine with that. Not everything has a Hollywood happy ending. And when you have giant titans eating people like for snacks, breakfast, whatever, kind of makes sense a little bit. But what's the funny bit is that he kind of wants to betray his fans, but is unsure of whether or not he should do it. I think he's seen what has happened to Hideaki Anno from Eva fame, and all the death threats he got with his odd ending, that he had to go out and actually make 2 movies in order to appease the fans. I'm kind of hoping he says, screw the fans, this is what the ending that I kind of want to see, and just go for it. It's kind of reminiscent of just even a few months ago with the ending of the anime, the 3-part OVA ending to the Oreimo series. A lot of fans were just crying out, this is not the ending we wanted. You know what? That's perfectly fine. If you are expecting a certain kind of ending and it becomes that, you kind of lose some of the feel of once seeing something new. And 2, you always want to have everything, the Hollywood ending way. I'm more of a fan of everybody dies. Because more often than not, in a situation like that, people die. Like the end of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the movie with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. I kind of got to the point where I edited the ending of the movie so they died at the end, and it made more sense, but that's just me. Kathy she is right. She states that people cried over the ending of Kuro Season 2, and of course they still whine about it to this day. You can't please everyone. You might as well please what you want to see, and then let the rest, lie as they may. All right. Speaking of things as lie as they may, we have an actual trailer this time for the upcoming live-action adaptation of Kiki's Delivery Service over in Japan. I'm just going to play it. That's all I can say. Okay. So, what can I say? What can I say that's good? The location scouting is fantastic. It looks amazing. I'm sure the cinematography of the cliffs and the seaside will look absolutely great. I'm going to hold off on my personal thought process on this trailer and remind everyone, including myself, that I'm sure the moment this was announced, people were thinking, oh, this is going to be an adaptation of the Ghibli movie. No, this is an adaptation of the original children's story. And even the Ghibli movie made some alterations to the story in order to fit the medium better. And I'm sure they did the exact same thing for the live action adaptation. So, yeah, if you were expecting just a direct, copy pasta just from anime to real life, ain't gonna happen at this point. Will I go see this in theaters? If someone invites me. I'm not really much gonna pay for it. It has not impressed me yet. I'm still waiting for a full synopsis and see what they actually are planning to change. And then I'll make the final decision at that point. So you guys can, guess that for yourself. Okay, want to jump not from the States to Japan, but actually from the States to Europe, specifically Paris. There is going to be an upcoming event that I'm actually really jealous of, and I was kind of hoping it would make its way stateside eventually. And that still may be a possibility. It all depends on the how loud the fans cry out for this. You guys have heard of the Final Fantasy symphonies, the Dear Friends concerts, the video games live concerts. Those are great, fantastic events. If you guys have not been to either of those events, you're missing out. Go to online video games live, Dear Friends. Go look online for tickets for your area. You will have an amazing time. I guarantee you'll have fun at those. But there really hasn't been anything for the anime crowd, and it makes more sense that an event like this is going to take place in France because anime actually has a pretty big following outside of Japan there. And I'm talking about a One Piece music symphony. This is an official symphonic concert of all One Piece music, taking place early April 2014 in Paris. And there's actually an English part of their website. So if you were so inclined, you can go there, you can buy a ticket, and then you have to pay for international airfare, hotel, probably some translation tools. But you can actually go see a concert similar to Video Games Live, but all One Piece. I think that's going to be amazing to go see. It's going to be a full 2-hour concert. And not only will you be able to hear some of your favorite tracks being performed live by an orchestra, but they'll also be showcasing clips from the series in the background that play along with it. So really, really cool idea. It's not the most original idea, but One Piece already has a vast array of music in its library. You might as well utilize it in this kind of way. I think it's a fantastic way to bring this alive in a different way. I really like it. So, but unfortunately, we're only talking Paris. No word yet if it can make its way stateside, but like I said, if fans of One Piece cry out loud enough, it's always a possibility of bringing something like this stateside. Most likely it'll be attached to a convention, but still, it'll make its way stateside. So, I'm sure if you decided to go out there, to Paris, and you may want to rent a car, and you'll probably want to get directions. Well, you can either try to listen to something that sounds like English, or you know what? You can say, screw it, I have my Android phone, I'm going to get turn-by-turn directions from Miku. Yes, you can actually do that now. There is an app, it's absolutely free, called the Navi Voice Changer, and it actually utilizes Google Maps' default spoken navigation. And you can actually upload your own voice packs, your own voice banks. And people have decided, you know what? We're going to make Miku give us directions. Turn-by-turn directions in Miku's voice. Other additional voices currently include also Kaito, Yuzuki Yukari, even Luca actually has her own voice pack. And this is actually, like I said, this is free. You can download this app. The app is called Navi Voice Changer. It works in comparison alongside Google Maps. And if you decide, you know what, I actually have a few things that I want to, create. If I have a couple voice banks, I want to create my own turn-by-turn directions. You can do that and upload it online so other people can actually check it out, download it, and actually use it. That's actually a cool little bit right there. Will you ever get this in iOS devices? Not a chance in hell. Steve Jobs will roll in his grave before that even happens. But Android users, you now have this ability. Very cool. What's also very cool, as a side note real quick, there is a new figure to pre-order, and that's the 2013 version of Racing Miku. And I kind of have to say, I really enjoy this one. It has hints of the Miku pen style, but the overall, from the pose to the outfit, I actually really enjoy this. Even the faded transparency in the hair works really well. You can actually pre-order this right now at any of your favorite import sites. It is retailing right now for 9,800 yen, so just shy of $100. But if you are a savvy shopper, you probably can go to a number of different places and get that for a discounted rate. Pre-order now and start saving, because this is not expected to be released until June of 2014. So you kind of have to get on this like now, because it will sell out. I have yet to see a Miku themed figure of any kind not sell out. That's just me. Okay. I really have to talk? Yeah, I guess I have to talk about this because this is just, this is so random. I was not expecting this. So there is a clothing brand, a very popular clothing brand in Japan called Peach John. Don't think too deep into that. They decided they wanted to work on a new collaboration. And what better collaboration than, okay, Sailor Moon, why not? So you can, I don't know, have some shirts that have the Sailor Scouts on it, or maybe a cool hat or a jacket that's similar to what they wear in the series. No, they decided if we're going to go with Sailor Moon, especially for the 20th anniversary, we're going to do something different. We're going to do something that probably tens of thousands of otaku are going to be surprised at, and maybe only sell a few thousand to the female otaku out there. What I'm talking about is they created a set of bra and shorts as a costume set based on the 5 Sailor Scouts. All of them. Yeah, so it's a costume bra and panties set for... Now, okay, let me think about this. This is almost like if you want to cosplay hidden from the world. I'm not going to be one to judge. I look at this and go, this is not going to end well, because you know damn well someone in the States is going to buy these, import these, and then wear it as a costume at an event, and all of a sudden we're going to have cosplay is not consent all over again. It's going to happen. I swear it's going to happen. But apparently pre-orders are being accepted right now, so if you are interested in acquiring one of these, you can search online for Peach John Sailor Moon, pay for the pre-order, and it will be shipped. Scheduled shipping date, I should say, is February of 2014. Prices, prices probably range. If you wanted a basic hat, maybe $20. You probably have to pay for shipping. The costume sets, the top and bottom, are $50, not including shipping. So yeah, there you go. That's a thing. That's gonna happen. That's all I can say about that. And on that most random of endings, we're gonna have to call it on this episode of AniBreak. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out. We've been doing this for 77 episodes, and we have no clue how long we're gonna be, doing this. And I hope, with that being said, we'll be doing this for many more years to come. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Stay tuned for post show. And yeah, for AniBreak, I'm Jason. We'll see you guys next week. Take it easy.